That was a hard stop. I was really in it, guys. Where is everybody? Are we there?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. I just was having a jam
Hi,
out.
everybody.
I wanted to share that with you. Am I still sharing my screen?
No.
Well,
Good.
morning
That's so-
jams are very important.
You know, I know you're a morning jammer too.
Yeah.
Morning jammer. I
Gotta
listen
get
to
that
that.
vibe up in the morning.
Yeah. I just am really into that song right now. It's just, that song, it's just so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't seen that live one yet, so, it's
It's
just getting it going.
all about the mother.
About the mother. There you go. There's a candle for you all. And here's a little incense. And welcome to everybody who's with us live. So excited for another Monday. I was, wow, Justin, really pumped up after that show last night. I was up until like, I don't know, at least 1 a.m, just like. Was really
There was so much to it, and yeah, it's good. It's good for us to like continually be reminded of this, to keep coming strong with it. And this is what propels us all through it. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
It was amazing. It was exactly what I needed to hear. And I had spent, I'm going to do a meditation in a second here, guys, but I had spent a big chunk of yesterday listening to 107 and the one that Tony had put up. And then Charlie last night, it was like, so many dots are connecting and it's feeling really great to actually be at this place in time and to be this grounded. Like, we're ready. And that's really what it feels like. And I think that's why I was up all night. I was just like, like, here we are. I was looking outside. I was like looking at the stars. I took a little walk. I was just like fired up with this energy of the divine. And it's just so encouraging. It hasn't been an easy journey for a lot of us. There's been so many ups and downs to this whole experience of 2020 and the first, Q1 of 2021. It's been a lot to process, and I just want to acknowledge everybody for staying the course and for being here, even when, there were moments that didn't feel like, grounded, and there's all this stuff happening that's challenged us in so many ways, hasn't it? Like I have felt so taken to the edge of everything. Everything I thought, everything I felt, who I am, how I fit in, who you are, how you fit in, who are they? I mean, it just feels like everything has been brought to the surface in a way that has allowed me to really broaden my consciousness and my perspective, and to see from that bird's eye view in a much more dynamic way, where I feel more empowered. I feel less of a victim, even though I have seen, and Nicole, I am going to meditate, so just let me get this out, but you had put something in the Mighty Companions, and it was we'll break it down in a little bit, but some of the things that you said were so powerful for us as spiritual, seekers, as lovers in the world, as heart-centered folks, where we avoided all of this hard stuff. And we've talked about this here. We've avoided so much of the hard things in the name of love and light. But this, you know what I'm talking about? We couldn't avoid this one. We just couldn't. We couldn't stop. We couldn't avoid what was happening to children on our planet. We couldn't avoid, the pharmaceuticals and them literally naming themselves as an entity that's going against the light, against the love. Like we couldn't not look anymore. But the greatest gift in all of this has been the looking has allowed us to diffuse its power over us in a way that ignoring it empowered it. You know what I mean? Like it just, and I avoided this for years. And I think a lot of us have. It was in the name of lift the energy. It's all good. And no matter how many times we talk about it, it's so important for us to recognize that us saying no, like love says no. Love says no. Love says no. And love isn't a pushover. You know, it's not gonna just like, so my kids got this for me over the weekend. It's like, it's not gonna be like, oh, okay, you can treat my kid like crap. Okay, that's fine. It's all love and light. Oh, she's just wounded. Oh, just be compassionate. Fuck that now. I'm so over it. And it's so exciting in a way to get this level of power back, because it's not, I know you're feeling it too. Like I feel all of this energy coming back, and it's really giving me the clarity and the energy to step out of the matrix in ways that I wasn't willing to do before. I just wasn't, because I wanted to have it both ways. I wanted to have it both ways. And I just feel like now um, I'm so humbled. I'm so grateful to know that that decision to look at the dark was the one and only decision that made all of the difference in this journey. And it really has allowed us to be on the right side of things in the moment when it counts so much. And that that should give you so much energy. It should keep you up at night in celebration of like, wow, I got through the valley of darkness. Like I walked through that. I put one foot in front of the other. I got burned. I got slammed. I kept getting back up. And no matter how many times they try and take me down, they can't, because I'm a child of God and the power is mine. And this is that moment where we're lifting up this dormant energy of Kundalini, like this sleeping serpent, sleeping. We've been like playing at the flute this last year. We've been giving it orange juice. We've been like, you got this. You can wake up. You can trust me. And it's like, I don't know about you. You've been kind of crazy. And you're like, that's okay. I'm not going to be crazy anymore. I'm ready. And it comes and it comes and it comes and then we push it down sometimes because it's too much. But then we get up and we try again and we take deep breaths, which we're going to do here in a moment. And we let it and we trust it and it keeps coming. And then boom, we have these aha moments like never before, in which we can see with such pristine clarity the colors of love, what love looks like, what it feels like, what is its texture, you know, like how does it move, what does it say, how does it express itself through this avatar, how does it express itself through yours, you know, how does it like linger in the water, what is that foam on the ocean, what is that, what is that twinkling, why does that star keep coming in and out, am I tripping, you know, it's like this magnificent opportunity. The more that we step out of this insanity, this delusion, this illusion of fear consciousness and all that it's miscreated. And it's miscreated so much nastiness. And now it's each and every one of us picking up our cross and saying, absolutely not any longer on my watch will I have any degree of acceptance of this. And that is really what it is to be a light worker. A light worker is not like, well, we should just, you know, let them, you know, oh, it's, you know, it's not that anymore. It's like, okay, I love you, but no. It's just like that now. And I just feel so excited about this because this is really different energy for me. This is very different. I was all like, only love is real, which is still true because only God is real and God is love. But it's now that in this energy field and in this matrix, like blasting through the minefields. And like this energy and like the feelings and the colors and all of it just surrounding me all the time, even when I like am a little bit crazy, because I still go there every now and then just to check it out. It's just to feel it out, so see, you know, if I can pull myself out of it another time. I don't know, I hope I stop doing that sooner than later, but it's getting better. But when it does come up, I'm like, wow, okay, pain body experience for another level. And it's not just words anymore. It's really like, okay, show me. I'm ready. I really want to do this right. And I want to do it right for the people really that did not deserve this. And you can say whatever you want about karma, but I don't believe children deserve this. I'm sorry. I hate it when people say that. I really despise that. I think that that's such a cop-out for just letting it be. The world is just the way it is, and we just need to, I don't know, maybe I'm going to get there. Maybe that's the highest form of God experience, of just total pure and allowing it all to be. But right now, I don't think that we have that karma. I think we have the karma of the sort of distinction. And I wanted to just talk a little bit about the first 3 Yoga Sutras, because they really say it all. The Yoga Sutras are the threads of wisdom from the yogis back in the day. And they are really potent Sanskrit phrases. And the first 3, if you understand the first 3, you kind of get the whole game. And the first one says, now is the time for yoga. Now is the time for yoga. Yoga is union. Yoga is to yoke. Yoga is to pull out the nectar of God. It's to suck it in. It's to breathe it in. It's to breathe it in you and let it do you, as it pulls everything out that is not you out of your field of consciousness. When do we do this? Now. Well, maybe tomorrow. Maybe at 4 o'clock. I'm going to go to the yoga class at 4 o'clock. No, now, present time awareness, this now moment, now is the time for yoga. So life just becomes a series of nows, of yoking the universe, please, of asking, using your free will in a positive direction. Please help me, Lord. I've lost my way. Obviously, it's pretty clear. Found myself in a really weird situation. Please help me out. Now is the time for yoga. Now is the time for unity. Then what? Then the second sutra says, yoga is the restraint of the modifications of the mind stuff. Or yoga is the stilling and the quieting of the mind. Yoga is stopping the mind stuff. The stuff under your bed that you don't need, that's just kind of stuffed in there. We all think our thoughts are real. Thoughts are make-believe. So stopping those turning thoughts is yoga. And then the third sutra says, and then the seer abides in his own nature. Did you get it? Then I see who I am. Oh my God, I'm an extension of light. I am a ray of sun. Well, I can't necessarily see that if I'm not in the now and if I'm not willing to stop this craziness. So those 3 for me have really been present, because they sum up so much of what we're up to in this community, in this movement of mankind waking up and saying no. We can't do it tomorrow. We can't say it should have been done yesterday. Can we? Even though it should have. But it's now. It's now. And you guys all showed up perfectly on time for this now moment, to stop the craziness and to see who you are and to stand in that light ever more powerfully, and to say no to all of it. Because love says no. And that's what I wanted to say for today. I feel really, really inspired by this time. I feel really excited. I just, in a way that I haven't been, with like different parts of like, oh, it's going to happen here. It's going to happen. I'm like, whoa, now is the time. And I'm super psyched. And however it all plays out is going to be just fine with me, because I know I'm on the right side. And I'm going to have the tools and the wherewithal and the energy to show up however God wants me to show up in that now moment, as an extension of light from the sun, from the eternal energy, as a son, as a daughter of God. And so are you, because you're already doing it. So you don't have to worry about that. Isn't that great news? You don't have to worry about anything anymore. I said this to Danny. You don't have to worry about anything ever again. Sit with that. Why? Because you don't have to think about it. You don't have to have the solution. You don't have the solution. God's plan for the salvation of the world will work, and yours won't. So just follow God's plan. It's so simple. I don't have to have all the, I just am going to tap into the now, stop the craziness, and know who I am, and then act accordingly. Great news. And it's not going to be always pretty and easy and love and light and fluffy. Yet. But we're going in that direction. That's super exciting. We got to get through this, burning through the karmas. That's why the yogis call it the tapas, the fiery cleansing. It's one of the yamas and niyamas. We should talk about these more. They're so powerful. They're so potent. This purification process of burning through your impurities. It feels like burning sometimes, like you get skin reactions or you're frying out the toxins. Why? So that your waters are clear. You're 72% water. You want to be able to flow, go with the flow. Not hold on to the past. The past is over. It's a beautiful lesson in the Course in Miracles. The past is over. It can touch me not. Past is over. I'm now. I'm right now. Goodbye. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck with that. Namaste. But no. I heard someone say, but we just need to love them. I'm like, I've been doing it. It's not working for me. Maybe it works for you, but it's not about that anymore. Of course I love. That's not like the conversation anymore. We just need to love them. I don't know. For me, it's rubbing me the wrong way. And if someone wants to call me out on it, I'm open to it. It's not no. It's no. And oh, I used to hate it when people said no to me. I want people to say no when I'm wrong. Tell me. Please tell me now. I need to know. And we need to be able to call each other out and say no. Cool, you were so powerful talking about those masks. I was like, yeah, no. All right, Justin, go in there. Jump in, babe.
Yeah, well, just to sort of reiterate what you're saying, I mean, if we take a look simplistically at it all, like God is love and God is truth. The absence of love with the absence of truth is not really love, and vice versa. Truth without the absence of love is not really truth. And so with that in mind, if we're confronted with something that is the absence of God, because all is of God, but there are things that have the illusion of the absence of God, the absence of love, and the absence of truth. So if we're confronted with those things that are the absence of God, and we do not stand strongly within that and say no, then we are accentuating that absence of God. We are allowing it to proliferate. And so saying no is sometimes the most loving thing that you can do, because it's inviting God to come back into that situation. It's inviting love to come back in. It's saying, no, what you are doing or what is happening right now is the absence of love, is the absence of God, and I'm not going to stand for it. I'm going to create that space. I'm going to burst forth and allow that love to truly flow and come through, not to be passive and false. And that's not really love. That's not love at all. To just bypass the nitty gritty, the hard part of what love and truth stands for, and just abstain from that. That's not love at all. That's again the absence of love. That's the absence of God. But we've been tricked into this illusory sort of personification of what love is, and that it has to just be this like complacency and just be nice to them, niceness, like that falseness. No, we be kind. We need to be kind, which means you have to say no when you're confronted with it. You have to say no sometimes. And that's important. It's important to remember. So yeah, you're spot on. I agree with you 100%.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm feeling the fire. I'm feeling the excitement. I'm feeling very, I don't know if it's encouraged, but it's empowered. It's like, yay. I like want to celebrate us. I want to be like, we fucking did something really hard. Like this was huge. This really, I mean, maybe it wasn't for you guys, but I mean, this was like major. And I know that there are like some really major spiritual teachers out there that wouldn't go here either. And I'm really proud of us as just, brothers and sisters in Christ consciousness coming together and saying, no, wait a second, I don't care what you're going to take from me. I don't care what you're going to call me. This is wrong. And if somebody's not going to do it, well, then I will. And that's what it is to be, the extension of light. The light doesn't change for the dark. It is what it is. And I think that so many of us, are working so deeply with our programs and deprogramming ourselves and using each other as like flag posts. Like I hold on to you guys sometimes. Like I am praying for you guys. I'm with you. I'm thinking about my mighty friends all the time. I'm bowing in gratitude. Charlie Freak last night, I was just like, whoa. It was like he had been waiting months to let that riff out. And he let it rip. And it was so potent. I couldn't even wash the dishes anymore. I was just like, I need to sit down for this one. I need to be fully present. I cannot do anything else but allow this to be this moment. And if you guys haven't seen it, just that last 45 minutes of the show last night, I would really recommend you sit down and hear this, because this is what we've been up against. I mean, this is what we've been talking about. And I'm so proud of us because so many people fell. And I'm laughing, not like at it, but I'm like, so many people, in yoga, we call it mula bandha, your root lock. So many people like couldn't lift up their couldn't get out of the first three, kept getting drawn in to these like, cords of energy where we're plugged into all of this insanity. They couldn't get out. They couldn't get out because once they got to their heart, when they got conflicted, they went back down. And the rest of us stayed there and just allowed it to fry and burn, just burn. And my yoga teacher used to call it the barbecue. When you're getting barbecued, ask for more because you're onto something. You're burning through something ginormous. And a lot of people got there and just went right back in. It was like, whatever. Can't sit with this craziness. I can't hear it anymore. But that willingness was everything, guys. That willingness was the key out of how many more lifetimes around the wheel of suffering. That was the wheel. That you broke through that moksha, and you might go back in. I don't know how it's all going to play out, but like you're going to land in a much higher place because you were present right now. And I have a sense that if we keep this up hundreds of years later, I mean, we might really master this. Because why? Because we're willing. We're willing to be taught. We're willing to be students of life. I mean, it's so arrogant, this arrogance that has permeated the spiritual communities, as if we know something. My yoga teacher was so powerful. Every morning you say, every day I wake up, I'm a beginner again. After 30 years, I'm a beginner. That guy checked out. He couldn't take it. He was like, these people are crazy, Marie. These yoga people are totally crazy. I'd be like, oh, you're so mean. Oh, now I know. Now I know. A little bit of meanness is good. That's that Shiva energy. That's that karate, just that, that destruction. We've got to destroy. We've got to take things down, and then the Shakti can come up. That's that male and feminine. She's only coming up if you get rid of all that junk. She's pristine. She's pure. She wants nothing to do with that insanity. She'll stay asleep. She's like, dude, you people are nutso. So any opportunity you get and you feel it, you feel like you got something going, that's your moment. That's your moment to stay, ask for more, get fried, be brave, speak the truth. You don't have to know what it is. You just have to speak it. You don't even have to agree with it. You just have to allow it. You got to be willing. Willingness is everything. And I'm just so grateful that I was willing to stand and still. And now it just feels like the benefits, guys, for all of us. And none of us did it for that. I know none of us did it for that. But what a gift that that's how the system is set up. You don't burn for nothing. You don't get fried just, to suffer. Suffering is a part of it. That's what Buddha said. Suffering is life. But then what? Enlightenment. Woohoo! Good for us. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And I trust that, in the moments when it doesn't feel like there's any more light and it feels really scary, that you're on the right side of this, and just give it a moment and go listen to Charlie Freak from last night, because he really blew it out of the water. It was next level. I want to go back and listen to it again. I just remember feeling like, thank God, just so much gratitude for those of us that stayed the course here, because we were in the desert. It was scary, but the resurrection's around the corner. We still got, some funky days of crucifixion and watching that shit show, just the insanity of it. Well, let's put this guy up on a cross. Who thought that was a good idea? I kind of want to go back and be like, what were you thinking? But again, I don't want to be too much like Peter. No, don't do it. The guy wanted to do it. He knew that was his fate. He knew that was what had to happen. But thank God some of us are really seeing it, really, because what a shame. My former mother-in-law would call it a shunda. She was Jewish. It's a shunda. It's terrible that we don't see, and we just keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting something to change when we're the ones that need to change. Yeah. I mean to come out too much, but I was super, super inspired. We are going to breathe at some point today. I have this whole breathing routine I want to share. But I do want to open it up and see, Nicole, I know you only have an hour with us. So if there's anything else you want to do, if you want to share something.
Sure. Hi, everybody. Well, I'm so glad that my post on your site was not taken in a bad way. I put that up there and I was like, immediately I felt this regret where I was like, oh my God, I've shared too much. And I've gone there and I did the angry thing, but really that day it was this like, it was like a spiritual anger. It was like this, it wasn't mine. Like, that's not my default. It was something coming up through me. It was like that divine feminine rising, like you said, the Kali energy rising up inside of me. And I was just like, oh my God, I like when we were taught to just be loving in that very soft way, I felt that day what I was learning was it leaves all these little holes, like Swiss cheese is how I saw it. It leaves all these little holes for evil to get in, like for the darkness and the bad guys to get in so that they can do their work. They're like, oh, good. She's laying down. She's just going to be quiet. So I'm going to have some space to do my work now. And so it was kind of like this call to be like, no, that's not okay. And so the thing that I posted was so much about saying solid no's. And that's why I was so mad about like all these different things. And I was like, no. But I really think it's important for us. And I don't think, at the time I wanted to scream it from the top of a mountain, which I described in my little rant that day. But, we don't have to scream it from a mountain, but I feel like even in our prayerful life, just being able to willingly say, no, I condemn these things and I no longer allow them in my life or in the life of anybody on this earth, anybody on this planet, no more, and instead I declare that there is space only for the Christ light to come in, the highest of loving vibrations of literally Christ energy here on this earth. And that's what I declare for myself, my family, my friends, and for every other living being on this earth, whether they're human or animal or a plant or whatever. And so that day I was just really into this, like solidifying my boundaries, clearing up the Swiss cheese thing, like getting rid of all the little holes and making myself really solid. And that day I described in my little rant that I had just got back from the doctor and both of my shoulders are jacked up. And I do have this over flexible body where I'm flexible in like joint spaces where, you're not really supposed to be flexible. And I end up finding myself hurt in those areas over and over and over again. And so for me, my body was being this mirror for what was going on in my own personal life, where it was being too flexible. It was leaving too much space for anything goes, just go with the flow, be all love and light, just kind of let things happen. God will take care of it. Except what I was realizing that day was like, God's taking care of it by lighting this fire inside of me to say no. That's how God's taking care of it. Like, God doesn't always take care of it and making the proponent of the bad thing stop their bad thing. sometimes God heals things by making the person who is, on the other end of it, the receiver, stand up and say no. Like sometimes that's how God works. Sometimes that's where the truth lies, and so that day it was just like, whew, it just kept bubbling up. And I was taking notes as you were talking, Marie, because there was something that popped up in my head when you were kind of like repeating sort of the stuff that I was going through in that video. But yeah, I just wrote, sometimes love just looks like truth. It doesn't look like soft. It looks like finding the truth. And I think the beautiful thing about this truth community, and maybe that term is becoming too big because it's encapsulating all kinds of people right now, but let's just say our little community here of truth seekers and love seekers, is that, you go on this journey to discovering that everything's a lie. So when we get to a point like I got to the other day where I was like raging, there was this lie that was telling me I was wrong, that I was being aggressive, that I should be quiet, and I should have like deleted that post off of the Mighty Companions group. And I was like, wait, no, this is like the crucifixion. This is like, they want me to believe that so that I'll quiet myself back down, not stand up for what's right, not be an advocate for truth and love. And that's what the crucifixion was. It was putting Christ up on a cross and saying, like, the rest of you don't even think about going out there and pretending that you're some kind of divine being. Don't you go talking about stuff like this. It was like an example setting thing. And I could feel that inside of me. Like I felt the experience inside of myself. And interestingly, like even the concept of resurrection, like in me being able to feel that fire inside of me and burn away the parts of me that have been deceived by my own, this whole thing all those years. And being able to say no to the things that were wrong, it was such a difference for me. It was such a rebirthing. It was such a rising up to a higher level as I let that burn away all those things inside of me that day. And the rage didn't feel comfortable because that's not my default. That's not how I function. I've actually always been the complete opposite, where I will avoid things, give it time and space so that something will occur, some miracle will occur in that space, which sometimes happens. But to face something straight on like that the other day with all of that rage-ish feeling, that spiritual rage, I called it that day, it was a really interesting feeling, but it was so perfect, like so perfect. And even after I posted, I was still dealing with like worry, that whole community acceptance thing, like, all right, this isn't really how Marie's group rolls. Everyone's all like zenned out. It seems like everyone's so freaking happy. And I'm happy, don't get me wrong. But it's like people don't always express that stuff on, social media platforms. And so when I posted it, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be that person. Like, I hope Marie's still my friend. And that just goes back to that same old belief system of like, you speak up against something, you just have to stand for yourself and say like, hey, as long as I know inside of me, as long as I took the time to get quiet and to do, like you're saying, all the yogic practices that lead up to that, as long as I got quiet enough to know that this wasn't just coming from ego and it wasn't just coming from spontaneous rage. And I described in those videos too, that it wasn't one thing that made me feel this way. It was literally like a treasure map that I was seeing with like all this stuff that just kept popping up and kept popping up. And then it was in my physical body. And I was like, okay, I can no longer just ignore this. Like when it's this loud in my energy, I have to sit with it. And I did, I sat with it and I sat with it. And I learned so much. It was such a beautiful class for me, like a beautiful class and all those things I just talked about. But I am really grateful that this community is able to like watch that and still be cool with that, be cool with me feeling that way and going through that process. And Danny was lovely. Danny had posted that night. He was like, don't engage, like just kind of like ride the waves. And at the time I was like, I wanted to be like, I love you, Danny, but I gotta rage right now. Like, I'll ride the wave in a minute, but like right now I gotta rage. But he was so kind in his words to me, like so just accepting, and just he was like that big brother that just is like, hey kid, I see you, and this too is gonna pass, but I hear you and I'm right here for you. It was super cool to have that type of support. So anyway, I think that's all I want to say.
But for me, thank you for sharing that so much, because for me, hearing you go there was like, yes, yes, that is the righteous anger that so many of us have internalized. and not dealt with out of fear. That's what happened to us as kids. Don't talk, don't cry, don't speak out, go with the flow, follow directions. And you doing that was like watching you heal some aspect of me, some aspect of you, some aspect of all of us that was willing to break free. And initially, that's what I feel and can see is going to happen in huge ways right around the corner, where like people are going to be like, wait, what the fuck? And it's going to be so huge for them that that we need to be able to process this anger for ourselves. That's love. And it's like, and it's not saying don't be mad about it. It's like, you should be mad. 107 yesterday said, you should be mad that the US took down Gaddafi. You should be mad about that. You should be mad that your US tax dollars supports trafficking. You should be mad about that. And I was like, yeah, that's what got me going. I was like, well, wait a second. I'm not just going to not be mad about this. You had a teacher that wasn't kind to your kid and did something wrong. You shouldn't not be mad about that. Like that's the trick of emotion that they have taught us not to. Oh, you shouldn't be emotional. No, excuse me. Because why? Because you're hyper flexible in your joints. And you know this because you're a yogi and you're a teacher. So it's like, you know that when you manifest something in your physical, it's something in your field that hasn't been expelled in the field. Let's do it in the field now before we manifest physically. But when we manifest physically, we know, okay, this one's deep. This one's stored. This one's something that's, in there. It's probably, stored from generations past too. It's in the field. So when we get into our meditation and breath work today, we're pulling these cords out, and there might be an ouch. And you might be a little mad that you had a wound. I mean, how many times have we been wounded in our physical body and been like, fuck, now I can't, I was 20 and on crutches for 2 months. So we've all had physical things where you had to stop. You had to stop and get into the now and change something in here. Stop the way this is turning so you can see who you are. And that anger is a part of you. And that's what I feel so inspired by your work, because I know that you're, a healer. I know you're out there doing this work. And I'm so sick and tired of seeing people just be like, oh, I can't take it anymore, and I can't take it in me. And so I was really inspired to see you do that. And I'm grateful for that. And I want this group to be that, because I think that we're practicing, because I'm trusting and I'm feeling that a lot of people are going to be really mad about things. And I hope that they are, because that's a level of healing that so many of us have been like faked out of skipping or paying our way through it, or eating our way through it, or avoiding it, or Netflixing our way through it. But you sat and you fried and you did it. And I was like, yes. And it took me a week to get it, but I saw that message at the perfect time for me. So I'm so glad that we had a moment to process that, because that's what I want this group to be about. I really do. I want this to be about being real and raw. Please do not fake it in my presence. Please don't. I'm not. Why would you? This is not about saving face. It's not about being somebody. You're nobody. You're nobody. Better, you're not even a body. You better just, embrace that right now. You're nobody. No face, no name. Get to that level. That's the goal, right? Thank God we have hundreds of years. But, we're on our way.
Marie, I do have to head out, but I just wanted to give one more example of that too. Last week I had a client, and we were talking about some of the horrible things that she had been through in her own family.
Are you there?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm here. Why is it? Can you hear me okay? My connection is stable.
Yeah, we lost you for a second.
Yeah. Is it better if I talk like this? Can you hear me okay? Okay.
Yeah,
yes, thumbs up, Marie. Okay. All right. So I had a client last week, and she and I were talking, and it was so sad because this whole idea of having this rage and like standing up for what's right, she has been so programmed in her mind that it was more important for her to maintain loyalty to people in her family and to be seen as a good person to these people who are horribly abusive to her than to actually ever take back her power. She had no clue how to take back her power and to advocate for herself in any way. Like, she is constantly always playing the role of savior so that she can prove her worth to other people. And what I was so ragey about that day helped me to heal her, or help her with her healing the following day, because it was like I had this rage inside of me. I'm going to see if the video goes back on. I had this rage inside of me that like she kind of picked up on, and she was like, "Ooh, permission to gain power." It was kind of cool because it was contagious, I think, with her, and she sort of picked up on it. And I was like, "Listen, you have every right to reclaim all these things for yourself and to say absolutely not." And we had a whole lesson in putting up this castle wall. And I was like, the only people that get into your castle wall right now are you, maybe your partner and your daughter, like nobody else. Castle walls are up. Like, you get yourself nice and solid and strong before you let anybody else in. And that rage, I guess, and the saying no, I just think is so powerful for people as they begin to heal themselves. And I think it's one of the major things that's missing is people being allowed to have the full spectrum of emotions. Like, we are not just okay if we are in.
It stopped again, Nicole.
Cooking. So can you hear me okay now? Okay. So I guess I just want to finish before I leave, and just honoring the full spectrum of being a human being. Like, for people who aren't willing to dip into certain parts of themselves, like, be willing to go there and feel those things. Marie, you were talking, that's what I was writing about before, when you were talking about being in the lower chakras as we're practicing yoga, and it gets up to the heart, and all of a sudden everybody panics and they're like, I'm going back down, right? Going back down to the lower three. It's because we're taught not to be up there. Like, we're taught that the heart is a scary thing and only certain feelings are valid. And if you're feeling other ones, better be quiet. You better go off to yourself somewhere and hide away. And so that's why when you said that, I was like, oh my God, that's so powerful. Because if you think about, I always teach my students and clients that there's 7 chakras, 3 lower, 3 higher, and the heart's the thing in the middle. The heart's like the gateway that you have to get through to get to the higher 3 chakras. And those are the ones that are a connection to the divine and to like our inner knowing, right? And to speaking clearly what we know. And so if that's the case, if so much of our humanity is stuck in the lower 3, which, we are into, just survival mechanisms and, self-identity and stuff like that. But if that's the case and we get to the heart and we start to panic and we're like, oh my God, I'm feeling this thing, or I have this issue, or, I don't want to go back to that old thing and try to like heal that problem. We are always going to be stuck in the same loop, like this karmic loop of feeling the same patterns over and over and over again. So like going into that heart space and honoring that there's this full spectrum of emotions that can be honored, just like how Danny honored what I was feeling that day, just by saying like, hey sister, I see you, kind of thing. That's all we need to do for each other. Like, that's the answer for the healing part, is just being like, hey, it's okay if you're messy, and I'm here, been there, done that, or I felt similarly before. And I think that that's where community comes in, and I'm grateful for this community, because then we can heal that part and move up. Like, that's how we're going to move up. We're going to ascend that way as a community.
Oh, I love that. Wow. Nicole,
I do
that
need
was
to,
fantastic.
yeah, I do need to dash out. But anyway, I will keep listening, but I can't be on the thing anymore. So I love you all. Thanks. And I'm jealous of you guys out in the sunshine. It's cold here again. Look at you guys bathing out in the sun. Justin, you look happy as can possibly be.
Justin.
You look so happy. Oh, all right. Much love, guys. Thanks for letting me go. Bye.
I had my little bit in the sun this morning too. It's so powerful. I just want to say one more thing about this before I hand it to the next cat here. Shoving these emotions down causes cancer or causes something. And I'm speaking from personal experience. So I saw someone in the chat say that, I think it was Claudia, that's spot on. For 7 years, I didn't say anything. And I watched all sorts of craziness happen in my own community, in my own house, in my own family. And I just kept showing up with a fake smile as I suffered and broke down my physical body. Okay. So this is serious. This is not like, oh, Marie's so cute, now she says we can be angry. No, this is about healing. And we cannot heal what we're unwilling to look at. The first step in healing is awareness. We got to get present in the now. We got to look at, what are these things in it? Well, how did that happen? Do I want this anymore? What can I get rid of? What's true? What's not true? We got to start sorting. We got to cast the net to the right, as they say so beautifully. But then we can see who we are. But the problem with trying to just see who you are, but not dealing with the programs, is that it stuffs it, and it makes it dense and materializing. And that's where we see disease and dis-ease, discomfort. So it is really important to walk the walk. We can't just pretend anymore that it's all good when it's not. We have got to follow through. Our actions have to follow through with the truth. The truth is, I can't be eating this food anymore. I can't keep going to these dinners. I can't keep drinking this wine. I can't keep doing this. Some people seem to be able to do it. I don't know how they do it. I'm sure there's something going on at some point, but I was breaking down. I was literally dying. You would look at pictures of me and you'd be like, oh my God, that poor thing, she's half dead. It's true. It's true. You can't fake it. At a certain point, you've really got to start to do the work. And I really invite everybody who watches this now and in the future to take a look, make changes. It's fun. It's actually so much easier than faking it. Why are you holding on to the program? Like, who gave them to you? Do they serve you anymore? I mean, wow, what a gift to be able to let go. You literally get lighter, and that's the gift of love. And you can't just take it without giving up your fear. You've got to give it up. You've got, well, what if they don't like me anymore? They probably won't. Who cares? They probably won't. They probably will talk behind your back. But haven't they been doing that anyway? You know what I mean? They're doing it whether you show up or not. But you're you are literally lowering your density, becoming dense to try and fit into a community that doesn't get it. Why? Because they're vibing at different levels. And you keep lowering yourself and it's not working for you. Let them figure it out. Say no, move on. And, fingers crossed. I trust. Whatever's their karma is their karma. And maybe in me stepping up higher and higher, maybe that will support them in taking the steps that they need to make. I have a lot of faith. That God loves each and every one of us. But God isn't about like you suffer and you break your body down so that you can be liked. And I'm sure some of us are still doing that in little areas. So just, good luck. Go for it, Patrick. Please jump in. What do you have today?
Yeah, there's one analogy that keeps coming up as you were both talking, especially with Easter coming up. And that's when a little bird is in the egg. At first it's cozy, comfy, warm. And when the bird is growing, it has to make a decision to come out of the egg. And when the egg is cracked open from the outside in, the bird will die. But when the bird is physically removing the eggshell by itself, it's gaining strength and it will come to life. And that's the thing that keeps coming through when you were talking about righteous anger and the force behind it. It's not all about love and warmth. We need that strength as well to grow and to get out of the confinement of the old things that are holding us back, to be able to move freely forward. So yeah, I think we definitely need power, and especially in these times, I think powerful women.
Yeah, I agree. And we need powerful men like you guys, because I can't, like, I'm gonna cry. I'm so tenderized and so grateful for this community and for the men in this community. You guys are so beautiful. You are so precious. It's really tenderizing for me. I'm so, you know, I'm really gratefully married to a beautiful man as well, but just sometimes I feel like Danny can only take me so much, you know. And now I'm like, it's no wonder I have all of these boyfriends right now, you know, in the sweetest way, but I have so many boyfriends because I need a lot of energy right now. And I need to be able to lean into you guys. And you're all doing fabulous jobs. Really, I haven't ever been this inspired by the men in my life, ever. And I've been surrounded by men my entire life, but they were always kind of, you know, the gray-haired mean ones. And you know, I really am really into you guys. Just gonna say that in the least sexual weird way. Like it's not, it's just love. I just really, really do love you guys. And I'm super grateful because you show up and you listen and you allow us to do this because we are the mothers. Like we are the mothers and we have to heal our feminine. Like I was behaving really out of balance with my energies in many, many ways. Like I was overworked. I mean, doing this whole thing gave me my life back. So, I mean, if anyone says, well, you're going to lose your business, I'm like, dude, you better lose your business. You better let it all go. Because why? Because you're suffering and you're faking it. And I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. It's not, but like, and to be able to have you guys show up really affirms that, okay, I'm in the right direction. And then just freaking Charlie Freak last night, my God, I was like, you know, why are we so afraid to acknowledge our teachers and our, you know, why can't we say thank you? Thank you for doing that for us. Thank you for holding my hand. I remember the first time I was like, wait, so I'm not going to run my course. So like, wait, what are we doing now with business? Like what? And he was like, yeah, nothing. You're going to give it all to God. And I'm like, okay, all of it? Like, what about my, and it was like when I realized I wasn't going to send my kids to school. And I remember talking to the director of the program, like, so we're not teaching the kids to read? What about math? She's like, no, they'll learn. I was like, but like she needs to learn to read. And she's like, she will. Just like she learned how to walk, and just like she learned how to talk, and just like she learned how to run. She's gonna learn. And she's gonna do it playing. And I was like, so it's that. It's like letting go. Wow. All right. Well, what's she doing now? She's reading in the most interesting way. Her writing is adorable. It's this like her own expression. Nobody's telling her that she has to do her letters. And she's 7. And I had a grandmother come over with her 4-year-old, and she's like, oh yeah, she can count to 100. She's got her letters and and where's Ruby at? And I was like, you know, having a great time playing. Ruby is one of the, like, when you guys meet my daughter, you're gonna be like, who is this child? Eugene is like fascinated by my kids. He's like, who are these people? Of course they're so happy. They just drink orange juice. They're literally like, la. Ruby's naked all the time. They're just playing. It's amazing. It's amazing, but it's because I was willing. And I had all of you angels, archangels, holding the fort up. So I was like, okay, I can do this. One foot in front of the next. And that's why I'm out there like yelling on social media, but not really anymore, because I just show up a few times a week and hang out with my friends, and I don't even market or advertise anything anymore. I don't even care about money because I know it's all going to be taken care of. And I'm so grateful for everything that comes in, but at the same time, it's like I'm grateful for the beings. Like, really, thank you. I know I'm kind of going off today, so I'm going to try and simmer down. But Charlie woke up something in me yesterday. It was just like, whoa, woohoo, we did it. Like, we're going. I'm super excited. I'm super excited. And thank you for all of you beautiful men and beautiful women. Look at you, Sabina. What do you have for us? Anything? Who wants to share? Aaron, anybody? Get in here. Would you unmute yourself?
Who, me?
Anybody? I think Sabina wants to hop in.
Yeah, let her hop in. Oh, wait.
Did you hear his
hear me now?
Like, do you hear his voice? Did you hear that? Did you hear what just happened? Okay, just, did you feel the resonance of that? Just want to make sure everybody's like, you guys, I love us. Go ahead, babe.
Okay, hello Marie, and hello everyone else. I'm so thrilled to be here today. It's an honor as always. And I just want to add what you said before, that you kept showing up in your yoga place, but you were not authentic. And actually I had a very similar experience in my life in 2016, that I was in a 6-year relationship, but underneath that it was a lot of pain, but I really never expressed it. So I always showed up with a smile and told everyone I'm in sacred partnership. And one day this man just walked away after 6 years. I've never seen him ever again. And it was, my whole world was falling apart. But it was an amazing opportunity for really to go deep and really look at myself. And I realized I did not show up authentically who I am. I did not show up in my power. I played very small. I was always kind of in the background. And then I had to really step up. There was no other choice. I had to step up big time. I had to really, show up who I am and show up in my colors and all my flavors and who I truly am. And really, that was for me like coming out of a closet, basically. But my whole world had to fall apart to the point I was in such pain that it took me 9 months, exactly the process of birthing a baby, to really move through that pain with doing all the deep shadow work, going deep into fasting. And I want to say there's nothing that gets you more into the now like fasting. Fasting gets you right here. And there's nothing that brings you back into the moment that's why it's called fasting, because it's fast. It gets you right here, right now, and it brings up all the stuff, everything, all your emotions, your mental stuff, your physical stuff. It all comes to the surface, and then you have a chance actually to look at all of it and really ask yourself, can I be with all of it? Can I accept who I am with all my colors, all my darkness, all my shadows? And really, it was an amazing opportunity for me, really. So 2017 was really doing deep work, and that actually prepared me. So when in 2020 came, I was like, that's nothing, because I did the groundwork already before. And it's really about, facing the truth, really looking at yourself and being willing to, accept everything, all your darkness. So I really had an amazing year of doing deep transformational work. And that actually allowed me now to go out there without the mask and give people an education. And then to show up, and actually I've been doing now underground workshops here, because none of the yoga places, they all ask for the mask and it's 6 feet apart. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm doing, like as you said, I'm here to do the work of God and to show up as love and share, wear a smile on my face instead of a mask, and show up with my heart wide open and share hugs with people. So I've been doing underground workshops, kind of illegal from my house, inviting people to do the sacred cacao ceremony, also sharing workshops on detoxing and fasting and nutrition, sharing the raw food, high vibe fruit diet, and all kinds of other goodies, and empowering tools with people. And in the beginning we had 4 people, then we had 10. Last time we had 13. So slowly it's building up. People are willing to come together. But I feel it had to be me. I had to be the driving force, because nothing was really happening here. And it really took me to step up big time, like I never did before, and show up as a leader and say, I'm gonna stand for freedom. I'm here to share love no matter what's happening. Even the whole world is in fear. But it was also being, really feeling I'm a lone wolf. I'm all alone on this journey. So I'm glad I connected with some people online like you. They were always very inspirational, and said, okay, now it's up to me to step up here in this community. And I just want to add, I just listened to you with Josh X, and you mentioned something that you're looking for property in Mexico. So I would definitely be interested to be part of some healing community and even offer my workshops and at some point come to Mexico. So you can count me in, because I'm actually looking to relocate at some point, because I realize there are not many people that are vibing here with what I'm doing, hardcore fasting and the kind of diet. No one does that, what I'm doing here. So I'm always a little bit living off the edge, like I've always been edge walker. So I'm actually looking to relocate over the next 2 years, either to Costa Rica or Mexico or Hawaii. These are the places I'm looking at. So just want to let you know that we're
Thank
definitely
you.
in alignment with Mexico. Just want to put the seeds out there.
And thank you for that. You guys, like every time someone says that to me, my heart, like, this is just how much love can I receive? This is what I'm learning how to do. Like, can I, okay, all right, keep breathing, because it's the abundance of God and his incredible creations. I mean, look at this woman. Like, thank you. Thank you for saying that. And you're absolutely in the mix. And I'm just, yeah, it's happening. I think that I think we're going to do it next Tuesday. We'll do maybe an offline, maybe not like a public. I don't know. I'm still in the question on how we do it, but I'd like to do kind of a conversation just on Mexico, just on Puerto Escondido, just on the community, just on what we found around here, how it plays into Freakville, you know, all of the things, and just have like an open conversation, share some of the properties that we've been looking at. Yeah, I'd like to do that soon because there's like a list of at least maybe 20 people that have said, I'm serious. And I'm like, okay, we got to get a little serious now too. So I'm excited, and let's talk about this because it's happening. It's happening very organically. And just with like having Eugene here yesterday, he was here most of the afternoon and we made beautiful raw vegan meal. And he was just like, am I in heaven? He was so funny. He's like, what's going on? Because he's a little bit of a foodie too. So he's like, wow, Marie. And I'm like, yeah, maybe we'll do like some kind of cafe, you know, with all the juices available. And so we're talking about how to do this in a way where we can have different levels of people that want to do hardcore fasting. And they're like, look, I'm out 30 days. I'm going to go sit in my hut. You're like, awesome. You know, and here's yoga classes 3 times a day and workshops and all the things. And then you have people that are like, you know, coming off the American standard diet that are going to want a little bit like, hey, can you just show me what I can have? And let's start there, you know, because I can put things together really, really beautifully. I come from, and I love to create things with my hands and colors and all pretty. I mean, we made some really beautiful things yesterday. So yeah, and it's going to be fun. And, you know, I was thinking about my daughter and I was talking about her education, and like, you guys are the ones who I want her to learn from. When she has a question about how did the world come to be, I'm like, Charlie, how do you talk to a 7-year-old about that? So God so loved the world. You know, so like, can somebody help me with this? And so you guys are the ones who's going to teach her music. Siobhan, get ready. Like, she needs to sing. She loves to sing. I love to sing. You know, Justin, you got to take Adam out into nature and teach him how to like really get quiet and to commune with the trees. Like, he'll probably teach you, but, you know, be with him and eat mangoes with him and, you know, have fun with the children. And that's what I really feel. I feel so inspired by, because what happens when you move through this portal is your people show up. And you can't even believe how amazing they are. You really can't, because you're like, wow, these are my people. I had no idea, because I was the lone soldier too, Sabina. I was like, wow, to fit in, I got to do all this. Literally I was going to church. Like, I was literally breaking myself down, trying so hard to fit in. And I never did. And it was never good enough, because it might work for them for now. I don't care. I don't even care anymore because I'm free. I want to put my energy there. But what I really want to focus on is us. And I know, Claudia, you're here and we're going to hang out here soon too. It didn't work for yesterday, but it will soon. And for everybody who wants to come down here, let's do this. We saw some really cool places. So let's stay tuned. Let's have a conversation just on this, and let me know, DM me if you think we should do this in YouTube Live or not. I don't know. Or if it's just a private Zoom, I can record it and share it for us to remember. But there's a part of me that wants to keep it sacred too. Thank God that Charlie Freak is such a warrior, because so many people that didn't belong here are gone. Thank goodness. So it feels really safe, even though we're online in public. Like, our chats are always like, we love you, you're amazing. Ah. So, and people are sharing real stuff and really seeing us. So it does feel quite safe, but there's still part of me that's not sure that I want to talk about some of the things in a way that could be open to some of the weird vibes that are out there. So let me know where you're sitting with this. because I want to know. But thank you for that. You're in love. I'm so excited. And I think there's going to be many communities. But I would love some help too, and some support, because I don't want it to just be about us. It's me and Danny and the kids. Like, it's about us. So anyone who wants to help get that going, get down here. It's fun. Mexico's beautiful. It's really fun. Palm trees, hummingbirds. Who's next? Yeah, Lonnie wants to have a conversation. Thank you. Do we need a passport, Jeannie? Yes. We need a community to raise our children. Hi, friends. Kids are nothing but fun. I've always dreamed of having a huge therapy, raw, healthy retreat. Yeah. And we've been running trainings. I've been teaching yoga teacher training since I was 24. So I'm actually pretty good, guys. I'm pretty good. Yoga, I got it. I got some good stuff for you people. I cannot wait to share with you. And then you can share workshops on this, and Eugene's going to share a workshop on this, and Justin's going to share. So we're all going to have like offerings every day. Community center overlooking the ocean, coconuts off the trees, Garden of Eden. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, it all just sounds so amazing to dream about and to see. I mean, you can feel it. You can feel it. It's coming. And you mentioned, the time prior to this of, feeling kind of lonely with how we are, and feeling like we don't fit in with where we came from. But all of that was so beautifully arranged to really get us to go there, to really get us to go within and start in that point, because we had to do that. So all of those feelings, all of those trials were just so perfect to get us to detach from the need to define ourselves from the out there, to define ourselves with the people that we were born into, or that we grew up around, and just let go of all of that, and to really go within and say, okay, I don't need any of that to define me. I just need God. I just need to know myself, and I need God. And as soon as we do that, then that's when the magic happens. And God's like, okay, you did that part. You did the hard part. Now you get to have all of these beautiful people that you've been waiting for, that you've been dreaming of, all come in. And you get to create that space. And it just continues. The bounty is just immense, and it just continues to flow, and it continues to arrive. And yeah, I'm just here for it all. And you mentioned feeling that love for your brothers, and for the men around, and it makes so much sense why they keep us always divided, away from each other, away from having that reciprocal energy feeding off each other, because I feel the same way about these incredible women and my brothers. But like, all of it, it's just the reciprocating energy that you can find between the masculine and feminine personified, and how it just continues to bounce off each other and grow and grow and grow and grow. Like, truly, we are so powerful, and truly that's where we can get it from, is to have that ability to bounce off each other in such a way to where there's truly no limit. There's no limit, and we're just going to keep going higher and higher and higher. And I'm here for it all. I'm here for it all.
Bring it on. I love that. Yeah, with God, all things are possible. That's what's so exciting. It's like when we realize that our one problem has been solved. The one problem we have is our separation from God. That's the only problem we have. So anytime we can correct that, we're golden. Literally, we turn gold again. Like, oh my God, look at it, I'm golden again. Oh, well, what happens when I'm separated from God? I look like a wreck. I feel like a wreck. I am like a demonic person. I say crazy things. I know that part of myself. I know who that is. That person without God is a nightmare. All of us without God is a nightmare. It's just what it is. We don't have a choice in this. We might as well just return to our nature. and be golden and put on our crowns and acknowledge that we have crowns of light, and that so do you. And I want to be with the people that know they also have a crown on, because then they're light and they're beautiful and they're fun, and we can vibe. But if you're walking around like it's a little bit intense now. The energies are getting very serious about separating the wheat from the stuff. It's like it's on now. It's spring. It's we're here now it's time. So I think that's very interesting that more people are reaching out, and that the community aspect of things is happening in a really fun way. And we all have such beautiful gifts and talents to add to this. And that's what is so exciting too, that it's all happening without a lot of effort. And that's what I really wanted to make sure that, we're really celebrating the ease and the grace that is now happening, because we've done some of the hard work. I don't think it's done yet. It's every day. I'm a beginner. So every day I start again, and we're on the right side, guys. Like, oh my gosh, I can't even say. It was like it just hit me yesterday. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. I was like, I had forgotten. I got lost in the desert a little bit. I was still walking though. I was still like, I'm going. I wasn't sure. I was kind of like, where are we going? And then that guy just blasted out like a racehorse. I mean, that was epic. Like, that is going to go down on the books. I want to be around tonight. I'm going to be around tonight somehow. I'm just, for the entire thing, I got to figure out what I'm doing with my niños, but that was something. But now the kids are fine. And even if he throws away F-bombs, it's fine. It's part of it, Ruby. Like, what's that? Adam said it the other day, and I was like, oh, Adam said the F word.
I remember my aunt said, when my cousin said the F-bomb for the first time, she went, I'm just going to let him scream it out the window until he gets tired of saying it. So she just let him do that, and he just stopped. I just want to say, Justin, is it possible to get stoned from fasting?
I mean, yeah.
You look like you're absolutely, totally blissed out, stoned.
That's what we do.
Days.
Yeah, that's what we do when we get away from the distractions, and we get away from the ideas that we have to always
blissed
be
out. Yeah,
consuming things. Yeah, we allow God's bliss, and you really feel each breath, and like every sip of water, it's just a flood of just it truly is.
Have you got nice water though?
Yeah, distilled, and I always store it in my copper to get that negative charge to it.
Oh, really, I saw a horrifying video. Yes, I think I sent it to you. Of this electrolysis thing that you can put into the water, and it separates all of the ions or something, and you can see with all the different levels of colors what, like, black would be metals and yellow was methylene or something, whatever, and it was just so horrifying. That's from that's from bottled water. The worst one was the tap water, which was
I mean, I've got a distiller, and the amount of crap that it leaves behind, it's just this like white chalky gunk that just sits on the bottom, and if we don't get that out of the water, I mean, that's going in your body, that's calcifying everything. It's getting in our joints and our pineal. It's awful.
Calcified. I mean, they get us in every way. We drink, we eat, and we breathe, and that's how they get us in through those. That's it. That's the three ways they get us constantly, over and over and over and over again. Oh, and that's what we'll be talking about tonight on the program. I know, Marie, wasn't it so amazing to watch Charlie off last night? And like that, he's only tipping the iceberg from what we're going to be talking about tonight. So that's going to be really amazing. And I will be giving away a record or a CD, whatever, or maybe I'll do a little merch package or something. And that is, I want people to, I'll be playing The Truth is a Lonely Place, or The Truth is the Only Place. And I'll also be singing America. and the lyrics to America. I'm going to have a little fun around them and ask people, do they know where they came from? And whoever gets it first in the chat I'll send them a merch package. Can't believe I'm saying that. So I have little paddle fans with You Can't Run Out of Love. I've got t-shirts, I have records, I have CDs, I have plectrums or picks, guitar picks, little packets for the guitar picks to go into, but you can't sell them. Nobody wants them. So I'm just going to give them away.
Well, not yet. People don't want them yet because you're about to hit your superstardom. After all this comes out, and you're going to be on the right side of it, and they're going to be looking to you as this divine warrior who sings the truth. And yeah, then you're
and
going to
always
be
has been, and that's why I've
always
never
has.
been able to rise above a certain level, you know.
Yeah, you were just
Yeah.
waiting for this moment.
Yeah, in my middle age. I don't even care about that anymore. It used to be like, oh my God,
No,
I've
you're a
missed the
baby.
mark. That's it. I can't do it anymore, you know, and all this silly stuff in your head. And who cares? I don't care. It doesn't matter anymore.
We're all babies. We're going to live
We're
hundreds
all...
of years.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
go
yeah.
for
You're inspiring me to fast now. What, Marie?
I'm going for 721. I don't know.
9. Oh, no, that's 10. 7, 9, 10.
I think
Yeah.
it sounds crazy,
One.
but I'm like, came to me once in a meditation. I was like, really?
That's
But
cool.
if I do 124, I'm like, that would be also really cool.
Yeah.
Just to, you know. But I want to see my kids. Like, I want to play. I want to be one of those gray-haired, like, wizardy type chicas, like, you know, walking around in the land. And, like, I don't know. I just want to see what God would have me be.
Yeah, none of us will
Hanging
be
out-
eating by that point. We'll all be just like taking in the ether, man. Oh God, what's ahead is so amazing. It's just so amazing. I'm getting excited now again, and I'm just so thrilled to be excited. Sounds ridiculous, but it's just, yeah. Anyway.
Cool. Erin, anything for us? I want to breathe, and I want Siobhan to sing too. So, who does anyone else want to talk, or you want me to breathe first?
Just one thing. When you were talking about the water and how everything is polluted and they turn everything around, when you've got there's a brand called Evian, and when you spell that backwards, it's called naive. That's also one.
Evian was one of the ones that they tested. Now, they weren't as bad as the other two, but it was still bad. So,
you know, that's the thing that inspired me about Nicole's riff the other day in the Mighty Companions group, because she was like, I don't want to think that they're doing it like on purpose. I don't want to think that, and neither did I, but it's like, that's the portal. You got to accept that. Like, you've got to be like, wait a second, that's what that's the essence of what I'm trying to get through for today. Like, that was huge. And that's where Charlie just comes in with like I don't even know, with his like staff, and is like, so no, like, you know, like, this is wrong. This is effed up. Like, it's that kept me coming back for more months ago. And now I find myself being one of the ones that's saying, no. Because I heard Nicole go, I don't, you know, really, like, this isn't Evian really, like, isn't that just a coincidence? And then, you know, Q's always like, well, there's no coincidences, you know, it's mathematical, it's mathematically impossible, right? So all of these things, then at some point, it's again that acceptance of, okay, they're using the power. So then what? We use the power.
Yeah, they keep the power from us, because they tell us that we're not these divine beings, that we're just useless, as Charlie says, you know, and that's it, just keeping the knowledge for themselves, hoarding it like a miser. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why, you know, it's beautiful that we're doing these types of circles and conversations and communities. I mean, I hope you guys come down here soon and we look together. You know, we have a little field trip, we go up to the mountains, you know, we look around. we start doing the things. Like, why don't we do a 10-day and just, do it? You could do the cacao ceremony, I love cacao ceremonies so much. Like, and here the cacao is excellent. Like, it's Oaxaca. Well, Oaxaca, you guys. When you come to Oaxaca, your heart's going to explode. You guys will be ready.
I bought some cacao, a big block of it, and I just did the recipe off the back and just had it kind of like a tea. But Sabina, what should I do with it? I know my brother, when he does breathwave ceremonies, he's a girl that comes in and they do a cacao ceremony too before they do the breath work. But I'm not really sure how that all ties in. Like, what should I be doing? Just drinking it, like, or in a higher dose, or I don't know. What should I be doing?
You want to mix the best thing is to make it in a blender to make it creamy. So when you have the paste, you mix it with a little bit of water. And I put little spices. You can make it the way you like it. You can use tea or you can use water. I use a little cinnamon, little cardamom, and little cayenne pepper. And I blend it up in the blender to make it really creamy. You put it in a nice bowl and you create an intention, make it like a little ceremony, make it beautiful.
Yeah, it's in a big hard block. So I grated it, and I think I only had like a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons. So how much should I put in for like a cup to make it creamy? I think I had cayenne and cinnamon too in there.
Well, I usually use per person, I use about 4 ounces of water. And I use, well, it's hard to describe. I would say the block that usually is for 8 people, the one I have. So I don't know exactly how yours is. I would just experiment with it and see. It should be creamy and rich. It shouldn't be watery. It has to be a thicker consistency.
Yeah, okay. Mine was watery, yeah. And the thing is, though, it was like, I think $70 for like this size chunk.
Yeah, they usually, ceremonial cacao is expensive. Yeah.
Not here.
Yeah.
Not here.
Except the houses, is that it?
Yeah, you guys are going to be amazed that we can live so nicely here in Mexico. And I think that that's an important thing to remember, about simplifying and not being so driven by the aspects of money. I mean, we can have a really good, like, I'm going to share with you some things next week when we do get on the call about, like, okay, we could buy this. Like, I don't know if that's what we want to do, but let's talk about it. Like, let's have a conversation.
Marie, would you do something like go around just live with your phone and look at properties and stuff like that, so we could all see? No.
Yeah, like call in when we're out.
No, I mean, you could just be on your own, like what Santos does, goes around with the phone and just looks at everything, and you could be showing like properties or just to show whatever you wanted to show.
Yeah, so in the presentation that we do, like, Danny's got a lot of like, okay, this is what this is, the benefits, this is the cost. We're putting those things together right now. But again, I don't want to plan too much. Like, there's a part of me that just wants to like let it all unfold as well. And my old self is like, okay, and we're going to put together a deck and we're going to raise this amount of money and and I can do that. I've done that fairly well in my life, but there's a part of me that's like, just let God do this thing. Like, Marie, it's a dance now. And I'm a newbie. I'm going to say that. Like, I'm new at this whole magnetism business. I love it.
Well, if you're a newbie, I don't know what I am. I mean, like, I feel like an absolute beginner. Absolute beginners. But yeah, Marie, you're sensational. What's the word I'm looking for? To look up to,
Leader.
Aspire to a leader. Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, I don't know how that happened. I've just been on it. I was thinking about I take myself down sometimes. I'm like, what this really has been about? It's been about staying the course and, reworking and healing and just remembering times, so many memories coming now of like, wow, I really did that. And like, I mean, it happened through me, but I said no. There were lots of steps like where you all had them in your life where you're like, wow, I was 24 and I moved in with my yoga teacher who was 30 years older than me. My parents, like my people were like, yeah. And I was just like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I love him. They were like, you don't know anything. I'm like, I love him. I don't care. I'm doing this. And we traveled the world. We had an amazing 7 years together. And then he died. So like, there was that. But there was a lot of listening to my insides. And I think that that's what we're getting real permission nowadays to do and embrace. Like now it's like, if you don't listen to your insides, like, you know, your truth, your love, your heart stuff, you'll suffer. And I knew that back then. I knew if I didn't do this, you know, and so it all, life kind of like, isn't it that way? You kind of look back and it's like what Sabina was saying, like this guy was, we were together and then one day he left. And then it was like, oh, wow, I wasn't being authentic. Like I wasn't this and that. Like, you know, we're not victims, we're victors. We're victors. We're here we're victors. That's why we're doing victorious breathing in these yoga classes. Yesterday, I thought we had a great yoga class. For those of you that showed up, thank you for that. And that went back to, I thought it was a great class, you know. It's a little bit weird in Zoom land, but it works and it's fun. But that's the breath. It makes us victorious. It's called Ujjayi Pranayama. It teaches us how to get over our mind stuff. What do you have for us, Aaron?
There's just so much you guys been talking about today, and love listening to the journeys and the growth everybody's going through, and the perspective, how quickly it changes for us, you know, when we really start harnessing and finding that true God that's inside of us that has been here all the time. And that it is that stillness and silence. And as you get to those points where you start surrendering all thoughts and you give no thought for your life, you start seeing exactly what you guys are going through, where the separation from person to God. And if God's inside of us, well, he does not respect any person. So you can't be the person that you thought you were. You must change. You have to change, go down this path. And that's what we're doing. We're putting in the work, and the rewards are built inside of it. So as we get lighter with our breath and lighter with our food, this enlightenment that we get in our mind and the gnosis that we're able to absorb from others and share with one another with our truth, because our truth is God. The truth that we were speaking about and the path that we're walking, you know, we're walking the path of Jesus, and we're becoming the Christed one. And we're all down this path, that sharing it with one another, and that honesty that we have with ourselves is bleeding out, and other people could see it, and it allows them to be as honest. And that's why this is a family, because it's just true God. And it is that magnetism, it is that force. You know, you speak all the boyfriends that you have, and I see the same thing, all the sisters and brothers. And the reason why I'm drawn to them is not because I'm drawn to them, it's because the force that they have. It's the willingness to walk forward, to walk through that fire that you speak of, and to walk through all this and really face the fears that that we manifested ourselves, and really tear it apart. And I have another look at it in a more truthful way than the ego vision that we've had our whole life, and really see it for what it is. And now that's so clear for me, of really separating myself from my old self, and really soon what it is. And it's an energy, and I am in control of every moment, every second, because every moment resets and I get another one. So it's just an amazing journey to be here with everybody and share, and just so much to talk about. And we could spend the whole day on these little conversations, and it moves so fast. I don't have any concept of time anymore. So, but yeah, as things get a little crazy in our own world and outside there, I think the separation that we're getting through, of that true feeling of who we are and that true connection with God. And if God is stillness and silence, like Charlie says, the God camera's he's always meditating. Well, that's the black hole and magnetism. That's the stillness and silence, and all the chaos is outside of it. You know, whether we choose to play with that out there, that's our choice. If we're going to have that armor of God so we can walk through all that, well, we really need to harness that armor of God and just be the observer and just see it as it comes, and not have the attachment. Even with the kids, you know, I got kids and families, and jobs I walked away, I walked away from taking over my parents' business. There's a lot of conversations, a lot of feelings inside of my mind, chattering. But as more and more that I put those down and put them where they go, then that armor of God is just stronger and stronger. And it's just really tapping into that separation of who you were. It is a little bit of a battle of the ego because it doesn't want to die, but it is the death of the ego that we have, and it's not really dead forever. It's just you're gonna die for a second, so I could recognize who you are, put you where you need to go, and then now I could be the true observer and just watch everything and not let it affect me. And we're at the part where we're gonna have to hold a lot of space for people, and we're holding a lot of space for each other right now. And we're the strong ones, and we're the ones that are going to be holding big spaces for people. I already see it coming. I'm running into a lot of people just when I have to go into the side of Babylon, which is a great place because there's so much for me to learn from. It's not this hectic place, like Josh says. This is the world is perfectly constructed exactly the way it's supposed to be. Because if it wasn't, we wouldn't be standing here with the appreciation we have, wanting to find the armor of God to stand in our space. So it is beautiful. I'm so thankful for everything that has happened to me in my life that brought me to this place, all the beautiful family that I get to share this experience with in the most honest and true way. Of course it's perfect, because this is perfect right now. Like right now is so perfect, so just always trying to be in that perfect space and sharing it with others. And I love you guys all so much.
Wow. We love you, Aaron. That's the now moment. That's just being present, and you resonate. Like you got it going on, brother. Thank you for doing, the depth of work you're doing. Because isn't it nice to know, guys, though, that there's, not nice because I want you guys to have a hard time, but just to know that we're all like, it's not just like done. It's a process. There is some effort involved here. There is choices that are being made. There is direction. There is energy put towards the right side of things that we do every day, and sometimes we do better than other times, but that it's happening, and that's the intention, that every day you're in the tent, that you're there, you're cozied in to the truth of who you are. And so when Babylon, we're at, it's like, you got it. You got it going on. Whatever you need to have, you've got in that perfect present moment. It's like, it's there, whatever it is. It's just, wow. Super cool stuff. Super cool stuff. We're awesome. I'm so proud of all of us. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Super. And can I just say, for all of you guys that write me all of your amazing messages, I'm like super behind on stuff. Can I just say that? And I love you. And I'm going to spend some time this week, like sitting down and like doing administrative stuff that I avoid at all costs. But I'm going to do it because I love you all so much. And I want to be in touch. And somebody actually wrote me and said they might be able to help me with some administration and stuff. So I'm going to get it. I see some of you guys and I'm like, oh, I owe you messages. I'm coming. And it's going to be great. We're going to get going, and I'm going to do privates. We're going to do all the things, and it's all going to be perfect. Just give me a minute. We're getting. Let's do a little bit of breath, shall we? And then maybe Siobhan can sing us a little song. Does that sound okay? Yeah? Heaven on earth. Beautiful. I love you guys. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Mighty companions. All right. So, actually, move my chair back. You guys like my dress? Isn't that cool? Danny got that for me. It's a very Mexican dress. It's so cozy too. All right. Let's sit. If you're on the floor, that's great. If you're in a chair, that's fine too. Go ahead and keep your hands nice and open, resting on your lap. Go ahead and close your eyes as you're ready. Just taking a few natural breaths. If you can relax your jaw, relax your face, and bring your tongue just up and behind your two front teeth. Lift your pelvic floor, kind of like you have to pee. Just kind of lift your energy up, press your navel back just a little bit. And here we go. I'm going to invite you to breathe in through your nose, to hold your breath, slightly tuck your chin, and then lift your chin and exhale through your nose. And two more like that. Breathe in through your nose. Slightly tuck your chin. Pull your navel back as far as you can get it. Kind of suction in your belly. Gently lift your chin and slowly exhale through your nose. And again, breathe in through your nose. Slightly tuck your chin, but pull up your bandhas, your lower, your navel, your root lock, lift up. Lift your chin, gently start to exhale the air and then let go of your belly. And now just taking 3 breaths on your own, however you want to breathe right now, just 3 simple breaths. And then now the retention is going to be after the exhale. So here we go. As you inhale, breathe in through your nose. Fill up your belly. Pause just for a moment and then exhale all the air out. Hold your breath at the bottom. Good. Slowly inhale. Sip in the breath. Just a pause and then exhale out. Hold at the bottom. Lift your Mula Bandha. Gently release. Inhale. And exhale through your nose. Hold. And then just taking 3 deep breaths on your own. Recalibrating. Now we'll practice that retention after the in-breath and the out-breath. So as you're ready, take a big inhale through your nose, sip in your breath, send it all the way down. Slightly tuck your chin, hold your count. Lift and then gently exhale out. With that sound, hold again at the base here, hold your breath. And then inhale, breathe in for 6. Tuck your chin, hold for 6. Lift your chin, exhale for 6. Hold at the bottom for 6. Breathe in. Hold, slightly tuck your chin, listen to your heartbeat. Lift and exhale. Hold at the base. And just take 3 slow breaths on your own. And then just allowing your breath to kind of smooth out into its natural way. Notice any subtleties around you. A breeze, a bird, chirping, the breath on your upper lip, the touch of your hands on your thighs. Sitting in your seat of wisdom, connection to your Creator, present, available, open. Might notice the energy in your feet. Asking that this day be used in service, in love, in alignment. And gently bringing your hands together in front of your heart space. And setting the intention that all beings everywhere are happy and free. Namaste. Namaste. It's a little breath work. See? At the kids' school, they go like this. So, or ma.
Thank you for the breath work, Marie.
Welcome. It's a good one. It's a simple one. So you do three breaths. You can extend your counts too. Like you can start with a 4-4 or a 6-6 or an 8-8 or 12-12. Sometimes counting really helps to slow down the mind stuff. And then you could breathe in. You want to try and get your counts, succinct. And then sometimes even to get your exhale longer than your inhale. So you can play with that. So there's 3 where you're tucking the chin and holding after the inhale, 3 when you hold after the exhale, and then 3 when you hold after both. And in between, you have 3 little breaths. Take it or leave it.
Could share a little experience with breath work the other day. Last Sunday had a beautiful sunny day, and I was laying out in the sun, enjoying the sun, and was playing around with the breath work and rhythm and the energy, and really feeling that separation from body and spirit and energy. And when I go into meditation, I see a lot of more energy realms, more energy fields. Inside that day, I had the sun on me. And I felt that my breath work was actually like activating a singing bowl, where you could utilize your breath work to activate that harmonics, that frequency inside of you, that God inside of you. And that's truly where we're going, is really the understanding of who we are, and what does that mean when we say that we're energy, and what does that feel like when we say that is energy. And Marie's breath work that we just did kind of gives us a glimpse of that. Once we are able to slow ourselves down and feel the energy, the subtleties that are around us, with the breeze, with the birds, because that's who we are in every moment, even when we're exchanging with people and words and stuff, but we are still that energy. And bringing forth that same resonance as we get out of our breath work and we get out of our meditation, and when we're getting back into what looks like or feels like our old habits, but make them different. Bring that energy with you, because if you carry that energy with you, then you're a different being. You are that armor of God, because in that true resonance of that frequency, not only at that point you realize that you are energy, but the person or the thing or whoever is in front of you, or what you're experiencing, your projection that you're seeing, is also all forms of energy. During that time when I was meditating and breathing, I felt myself, energy, felt myself lift up, look at myself, being able to be part of the wind that was breezing around, be part of the sun, the angles of sun, and bringing myself out of that realm of physicality. And you can move yourself inside of that energy if you resonate with what's around you. And being around Mother Nature and having that ability to separate yourselves and getting into the harmonics that's out there, and the beauty that she has to sing, in the silence that she has to provide, allows you to get to that energy. So the breath work is our key. Balance brings balance inside of us, and balance is key to where we're going. And the breath that we do or do not take, or the food that we do or do not take, like Charlie says, I believe the breath is more important than anything that we have. Going through the extended dry fasts and water fast, and I think I'm on 6 months of juiced feasting. I really resonate with the breath way more than I ever thought I ever could imagine, really. But it has brought me into some higher spaces that you can't do it just by eating heavy stuff and having heavy thoughts and beating yourself up and telling yourself you're not good enough. And you really do got to let go of all the constructs that we've had in our programming to think that we're not who we are, and really embrace who we truly are. And we are truly energy, and we get to choose how we want to expel our energy in that frequency and that vibration or pulsation. The pulsation, we want to have it to come back to us. We want people to be drawn to it, and it's never ending. So just wanted to share that with you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, we are energy. Breath is life. Breath is life. I am my breath. The sound of the breath is so hum. So on the inhale, hum on the exhale. I am my breath. I am my breath. I am God. I am ether. I am that. Like, you just yoga classes, you have, the ones about 600 conscious breaths. That's amazing. Like that's really important. So just now, all we did was take, 9, and then the 3 in between. So there was 18 conscious breaths. It's pretty good. See if we can do it 3 times a day. I love you guys. I got my little singing bowl here. It's not really. Yeah, it's not. It's not a happy bowl. Ooh, whoa, look at his bowl. Ooh. Oh, you're so nice. This is the nicest bell. You're so sweet. Still giving. Still giving. Wow. like I said, I love us. I just love us. Go us. You want to sing for us, lady? I just love us. That's beautiful, Erin.
You muted, Siobhan.
Yeah, I have two different mutes. Yeah, I was it a few weeks ago, and I had a little bit more psilocybin than I should have, and I was listening to singing bowls for 3 hours, just lying on my foam roller at the middle of my spine, just like just bliss.
Why not?
You know, what else are you going to connect to? Okay, I think this one is perfect for today. But I hope the guitar isn't too, just gets twangy when with that mic. So I don't know. Let's shove it away. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share. No one dare disturb the sound of silence. Who said you do not know? Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the sound of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sun flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and the tenement halls, and in the sound of silence, the sound of silence. Thought it was
Thank
kind of perfect for today.
Yeah, that was perfect. Thank you.
You're blissed out there, Justin.
I am so blessed out.
Ripping off and everything. Thanks, Marie.
Oh, God. Yeah, thank you. What do we do? It's Monday. We get on the Zoom. I don't know.
No, yeah. Well, tonight we've got one on Wisnosis at 9. So Charlie's going to be back in action big time tonight, getting out all his frustrations on the evil that is perpetrated on all of us for all of our lives since birth. Oh my God. Did anyone see the horrible, disturbing video of a child just after being born being wrapped in plastic, like crinkly, horrible, noisy plastic? Oh God, I actually nearly vomited. It was so awful. You know, and that's what they're doing. That's right in front of our face this day and age. Wrapping a child in a crinkly, horrible plastic, noisy, horrible plastic. It's just disgusting. And so, yeah, we're going to tie in, you know, the letter 17 and Trump and why we wouldn't have gotten to this point without them. And you're deceiving yourself if you think that it would have happened. Otherwise, it just wouldn't have. And that's what tonight's show is about. So join us.
Wow. I want to just invite everyone to sit with that, the sounds of silence today. Really beautiful in the space in between the breaths, the spaciousness that surrounds you, that you are. And as all of this continues to move in the direction that it's intended to, you know, let us be vehicles. Let us just be open to whatever needs to come through us so that we can really serve and be in that stillness as we do so, and excitement and fierceness and whatever energy wants to express itself. Let us be that, you know, authentically us. Yay. I love you all so much. And thank you for that song. What a great way to finish it off. And Patrick and Sabina and Aaron and Justin and Siobhan. You're so loved, and there's someone down on the coast of the Pacific who loves you so much and really appreciates your presence. I really do. And Danny and our children, we're so grateful for each and every one of you in the live chat. Thank you for this too. And yeah, we'll see you tonight in our chat room with the show tonight over on Wisnosis, and Wednesday Bible study. Wow, we're going to get through chapter rest of Matthew, hopefully. And this is the big stuff. I mean, this is the moment. And it's fascinating, Justin, isn't it, that this is where we are at this time? And like Easter, it's just like, wow. You know, this is the thing that's just so exciting and amazing about it. Yeah, it's so expensive. Like, we don't have to do it. We have no more problems. We just go with the flow, and God shows us how. And it's such a gift. And I just started Revelations this morning, and I was like, whoa. So we're heading into that too after. And then I think this week we might start, with Thursday. I want to check in with Charlie. We're going to start a new series called Everything Under the Sun. So with Charlie Freak. So we're going to ask him a bunch of questions and just go on all the things that we want to know about. I think it's this Thursday, but maybe next Thursday. So let's just stay tuned for that. And then let's do yoga again on Sunday. So just kind of hold the date on that Sunday. And we're going to try and add one more yoga. Aaron,
Yeah,
did you want to say something?
We've got our bi-weekly Q&A on Friday with me and Charlie and a whole host of family members again. So we're going to keep that going, of just having that open conversation where we can get to know our family a little better. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Same time Friday. It'll be 2 p.m. Central US time.
Beautiful. And we go through time change April 4th. So just FYI, we'll catch up at some point. Any other announcements?
I just want to throw something there after you guys' housekeeping things. If anybody hasn't seen Bill Donahue and his Easter video, he does a lot of stuff. Charlie mentioned him a while ago. I've never really watched too many of his videos, but I did run into the Easter video. He has multiple of them. It looked like he did one every year when he was recording. And if anybody hasn't seen Bill Donahue or the Easter video that he does. I would highly recommend it. We are right in here in Passover, and it is very timely. So just shout out to Bill Donahue.
I'll check that out this week for sure. I'm so excited, guys. I really feel like, God! I really feel excited.
Me too, Marie. I really feel like it's just coming to the closer, and oh wow, it's just so exciting to know what we're going to be having. It's such a beautiful life. I mean, it'll take a while, but it just feels like, wow, at least we can have a start point. You know what I mean? Oh,
Exciting. Exciting.
yeah, it is exciting.
God bless one of you. Are just magic, pure magic, all of you. And stay in touch, and we'll keep you kind of informed on how we do that Mexico conversation, because I think that's going to be a fun one too. So lots of love. We're in touch. We see you every day. So isn't that fun? Bye for now, everybody. Have a great week. Love you.